Hey folks, how are we doing today? Train to Busan. All I have to say is right off the bat, it is one of the, if not the, best zombie movie I have ever seen, hands down. But seriously, these zombie designs are so good. Even shows like The Walking Dead, being towards the end of its run cycle, still needs to take notes. You know, it's a far cry from the typical zombies who look like they're just waking up from a bad hangover. And so if you haven't seen this movie, the reason is because it's a South Korean horror film that came out in 2016. It's actually made its rounds winning some film festivals and has actually gotten its fair share of accolades and has actually done pretty well for itself financially. It was directed by Yoon Sung-ho and already has a standalone sequel called Peninsula, which came out in 2020. So, okay, what is it about? The main story is actually pretty simple. We follow our main character, So-sek-woo, which, bear with me with the pronunciation, who's kind of your typical asshole businessman who makes asshole decisions that could possibly ruin people's lives. It's pretty early on in the film he makes some kind of decision over the phone that could, well, essentially destroy businesses and maybe even lives. And it's later on that we come to find out that his business was connected to a biotech lab that had a massive leak. And his decision could have possibly caused the leak. It's not really explained, but possibly he might have something to do with, well, the events that unfold. Unfortunately, this takes a toll on his relationship with his daughter, Suwon, who wants to go visit her mother for her birthday, which unfortunately Sek-woo and she are divorced. I wonder why. So thankfully, he still has a heart and decides he's going to take his daughter on a train from Seoul to Busan. Oh, it's almost like the title of the movie makes sense or something. What's great about the movie, though, is that there's a lot of signs building up to the incoming outbreak. We do see some road blockades, we do hear about the lab spill, we actually see crowds of people gathering in the distance, we even see one person getting jumped outside of the train window, and we see our first real transformation when a girl runs onto the train before it leaves. And here's where I have to describe the zombie design. This is what makes this film excellent. First of all, the makeup design is fantastic. With the way the veins look in the eyes, it just looks badass. And on top of that, they go with a really unique understanding of zombies by saying, well, there's this virus that's slowly killing you and they're reanimating your body, so your muscles actually start convulsing. And because zombies don't either really feel pain or don't care about it, we actually hear bones snapping as we hear the muscles sort of unintentionally starting to move again. These are amazing little details that make zombies even scarier. And we also see the desperation in the zombie behavior as we see them snapping, we see them running, we see them, well, just, sort of spastically moving all over the place. It honestly feels legit. And this is a testament to a lot of the extras playing the zombies. These aren't even the foreground actors. So you can tell there's a lot of dedication to the direction of these zombies. That's why this movie is so fantastic. But unfortunately, what isn't so fantastic is that we do see sort of some borrowed elements from World War Z, where we see the zombies gathering like crowds and sort of toppling over each other. The CGI does not really hold up that well, unfortunately. Even when they start bursting out of windows, it's cool and it really shows what they're capable of, but unfortunately the CGI isn't quite, up to date with this storytelling. So obviously, the train is the major setting of the film. And don't worry, there's more than one train that they do have to hop back and forth between lines to actually get to Busan. But this becomes such an interesting setting because with so many cars that the characters have to travel through with, zombies sprinkled throughout, it becomes a matter of puzzle solving to figure out how they're going to pass by some of these zombies. Which, one of the key factors to understand here is that the zombies are actually easily disoriented. When there's a lot of fast motion or even darkness, the zombies are actually discombobulated, which is used for this kind of puzzle-solving element of the story. And of course, we do see how a lot of characters react during an emergency situation. We especially have this one businessman who is just basically King Douche. His character is a little bit exaggerated, but I mean, honestly, this one scene really showcases what he's all about. He basically makes fun of like this poor character or this person who's just not as educated, and Suwon is just like, well, mom says when someone says that, they're actually a bad person, and he kind of scoffs and remarks, sounds like your mom is not very well educated. And you're thinking, douche! But there's a couple of really badass characters in this movie as well. We have a character named Yoon Sung-hwa, who's like this burly guy who I swear must have been like either a wrestler, a football player, or even an assassin. Sometimes I actually wish he was the main character because he is such a badass, punching zombies and helping people get through. Oh, he is such a memorable character, and along with his pregnant wife, Yeon Sung, who just make an adorable couple. But one big focus of this movie is the father-daughter relationship. Obviously, the father's made some bad decisions. It affects his relationship with his daughter, who just really wants the love of her daddy. So you know how this is gonna go. The father's gonna develop a soul and actually be there for his daughter at the end, and it does make for a very touching ending. But there's one point I do have to make is that this movie is less scary and more thrilling, because especially with that ending, it's more sad or bittersweet, which, damn it, Korea, I'm just trying to be scared and have fun, and here you are making me cry. And then the last point is that there was one critic I saw who described the movie as having this subtle social warfare commentary. And on one hand, I kind of see where they might be coming from, because you do see the big man making bad decisions that affect all the little people who get sacrificed to, well, a big emergency, thus turning into zombies themselves, which was better parodied in something like Shaun of the Dead. But nonetheless, though, if that commentary was meant to be in there, it's clearly not the focus. I mean, with all that said, the movie isn't particularly groundbreaking and, well, as far as filmmaking goes, but when it comes to the zombie genre, I feel like this is setting a new standard that I hope we see coming up. So, Train to Busan gets my score of 3.5 stars. Guys, thanks as always for watching. Have you all seen Train to Busan? And if not, what else have you been watching lately? Comment below, let me know, and stay tuned right here if you all want to see more.